everyone. I'm meteorologist Leslie Hudson. Thanks for joining us for our special hurricane series, The Mean Season. Over the next couple of days, we're going to take a look at past hurricane seasons, what we have learned from them, and what we can do moving forward to stay safer. Now, as you may recall, this year was the 5th consecutive year that the hurricane season actually started before June 1st. Subtropical Andrea formed about a week or so ago, was not a threat to the U.S., but it begs the question, will this be a busy season this year? Well, on day one, we're going to take a look back at the 2018 hurricane season and why only a few hurricanes actually made landfall in the U.S. It was one of the worst hurricane seasons we have seen in years. From the tattered and beaten Old Glory that Hurricane Florence shredded off the coast of North Carolina, to Michael's massive storm surge that left much of Mexico Beach looking like a war zone, the 2018 hurricane season left a bevy of hurricane headlines. All told, 2018 had 15 named storms, including 8 hurricanes, 2 of them major with winds higher than 111 miles an hour. An average season has 12 named storms, with 6 becoming hurricanes. But for the last 3 consecutive years, the U.S. has endured an above-average season featuring at least one Category 5 hurricane. 2018 brought 4 landfalling storms, causing at least 173 deaths and costing over $50 billion in damage. On May 25th, Tropical Storm Alberto formed. It was the 4th consecutive year that a storm developed before the official start of the hurricane season. Alberto made landfall in the Florida Panhandle but traveled as far north as the Great Lakes as a tropical depression. A local news anchor and his photographer were killed when a tree fell on their SUV as they covered Alberto's severe weather. At least 3 other people were also killed from Alberto. The next few months were relatively lackluster for the U.S. But in September, Tropical Storm Gordon formed about 10 miles west of Key Largo, Florida. Gordon made landfall near the Alabama-Mississippi border on September 4th. 1 child was killed in Pensacola when a tree fell on a mobile home. Gordon later weakened to a tropical depression as it moved inland. The 2018 season also marked the first time since 2008 to have 4 named storms active at the same time. Florence, Helene, Isaac, and Joyce were all in the Atlantic Basin in September. A record 7 named storms were classified as subtropical systems at some point, meaning they were a hybrid storm with both tropical and some non-tropical characteristics. The last time that happened was in 1969 when there were 5 named storms. But by far and away, last year's hurricane season will best be known for hurricane extremes, 2 extremes that forever changed our nation's landscape. Hurricane Florence slammed into North Carolina's coast on September 14th with 90-mile-per-hour winds, which by most standards wouldn't be catastrophic. But Florence would soon stall and change everything. Florence dropped a record-breaking 30 inches of rainfall in the small town of Swansboro, North Carolina. Several rivers broke their all-time record levels in the days and weeks following Florence. It took 2 to 3 weeks for many rivers just to fall below flood stage. Long after Florence was gone, it took the final river to crest 1 month after Florence made landfall. The storm also made headlines for kicking off a period of extensive flooding in the Carolinas, which killed over 3 million chickens and turkeys. Florence would eventually move up the East Coast, but not before dumping rains in the Carolinas. When all was said and done, Florence caused at least 55 deaths and more than $17 billion in damages, mostly from flooding and storm surge. And then there was Michael. Hurricane Michael roared onto the pristine shores of Mexico Beach on October 10th. It was an intense Category 4 hurricane, the strongest hurricane ever to strike the Florida Panhandle. But last April, after extensive research, the National Hurricane Center upgraded Michael to a ferocious Category 5 hurricane, one of only 4 to hit the continental United States. Michael was the 3rd most intense hurricane based on central pressure to make landfall and had winds at 160 miles an hour. Michael caused at least $25 billion in damage, and it's believed Michael killed at least 59 people. Hurricane Michael was the first Category 5 hurricane to hit the U.S. since Hurricane Andrew in 1992. More than 1 million people across 4 states were left without power thanks to Michael. Michael is the only second known Category 5 hurricane to make landfall on the northern Gulf Coast. The 6 months that made up the 2018 hurricane season was chocked with firsts, lasts, records, and plenty of tragedies. Advancements in satellite imagery and faster, more effective computer models make it easier for just about anyone to track hurricanes. But no one can track their unpredictability. Tomorrow, on day 2 of our special hurricane series, the mean season, we're going to take a look at the Florida Keys and how they were impacted by catastrophic Hurricane Irma about 2 years ago. We're going to see how those folks in the Florida Keys are struggling to find their new normal. But for now, I'm meteorologist Leslie Hudson reporting from the shores in Cocoa Beach for My Radar.